I am in Paris, France at the Stranger Things experience, a traveling pop-up attraction that I've heard good things about, so I am excited to experience it for myself. There are two components, an immersive show attraction that I'm going to do first, then there's the Mixtape, which has some theme shops and food options. By the way, spoiler warning for both the show and the attraction. Being originally a Hoosier but living here in Paris for a while, it is quite amusing to visit an attraction set in the state of Indiana here in France. Sadly, they do not allow pictures or filming of the experience itself, so I'll just have to tell you about it. So in this story, visitors are going into the Hawkins National Laboratory for a sleep test, but things are bound to go awry. In this queue area, the lab workers talk around with guests and ask impossible questions, for which I had the extra challenge of stumbling through my French. The whole performance and show is in French, all these Stranger Things actors are dubbed, but they did at least have this English script for me to review. After an introduction, we were led into the Rainbow Room, where they made us do impossible puzzles. We were sorted out into 3 groups of special powers, similar to Eleven's telekinesis. I was in the Blue Intelligence group, and we had to do silly poses to make effects happen. There was this can crushing part that was pretty cool. Also, a couple joined my team at the last minute, but one of them got visibly scared by these spiders crawling out of vents, so they asked to leave. The lab director refused, but they ran out in the hallway anyways, and doctors ran after them with a taser, and all we heard was screams. After that event, we got put into a room where Dustin and Erica talked to us through a vent, and Eleven showed up through this screen, informing us that some Demogorgons got out. We were then herded into a security camera room. There were some good effects showing lab workers getting massacred right outside the door, and Demogorgons trying to break in. Then we went through something like those gooey portals into the Upside Down itself. That room could have been much more immersive, as they just provided 3D glasses, and there was a screen. Although it was some of the best 3D I've ever seen, the Demogorgons lunging at us was pretty cool. In there, visitors search for Max and fend off Demogorgons, then Eleven shows up to help, then Vecna randomly appears with an army, but Eleven just yeets him, and that's it. I actually really enjoyed it. Also, after that first incident where we got tricked by the couple joining our group, some people told me that they thought I was going to turn into a lab scare actor since I was carrying around a binder, but that was the English script. So the Mixtape here is clearly 80s themed, and jam-packed with all sorts of references to all 4 seasons of the show. The family video tableau is fantastic, a throwback to a time with brick-and-mortar video rental stores. There were once about 800 of these in the United States, but not anymore. It officially went out of business in 2022. There are all sorts of 1980s era movies out on display. I do really like the Greetings from Hawkins, Indiana shirts being sold here in Paris. There is a Rink-O-Mania gift store, where Eleven busted a girl's head open with a skate shoe. I have been to the real roller rink where those scenes were filmed, at the Skate-O-Mania in Albuquerque, New Mexico. There's a custom Stranger Things pinball machine. That's a cool velvet painting of Eleven. Here's the Hawkins High School activity board. There's a bunch of references, including an urgent meeting of Hellfire Club to play some D&D. Here's a replica of the Byers' living room, which has the Christmas lights strung out on the walls to communicate with the Upside Down. There are many neat little details thrown about this circa 1980s living room. There is a full-size sculpture of Vecna, the big villain of the Stranger Things universe. Now, I thought Vecna was awesome in Season 4, although he really is terrible as he interdimensionally torments and murders troubled children. I think an awesome way to step up this attraction would be for Universal Studios to permanently build a Vecna's Mansion dark ride at one of their parks, especially something similar to the Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris. The exteriors would actually look quite similar. I know they are doing a scare zone at Halloween Horror Nights 2023. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see that, but a high quality Stranger Things dark ride could be legendary. Just saying, Universal. There is an arcade with a few 80s video games available on free play. Alright, I'm going to try out Dig Dug. I haven't played this in well over a decade, and honestly I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Dig, I guess. The upside bar actually has some props from the show on display. Here's the slightly goofy costume of Mr. Clark from Season 1. That's the kid's science teacher. They also have a Miss Pac-Man 2-player tabletop game. Those are some of the real Christmas lights used in Season 1, Episode 3 by Joyce in her living room to communicate with Will, as well as a missing poster from the second episode. That is the spiked baseball bat from the Season 1 finale. It was created by Jonathan to fight the Demogorgons, but it ended up being used by Steve Harrington. That's a really iconic prop from the show. Here are some screen-used walkie-talkies, which are apparently called talkie-walkies in French. This is the costume of Steve Harrington from Season 2, worn by actor Joe Keery. The writers really did a good job transforming his character. I wonder if he's gonna die in the next season. There's a Surfer Boy pizza van. That's a West Coast druggy pizza chain introduced in Season 4. And here's the real Scoops Ahoy ice cream shop from the Starcourt Mall in Season 3. I wonder if there are any Russians about. This gift shop sells merch from the Hellfire Club and the show's new most popular character, Eddie Munson. Of course, there are Eggos in the freezer. Okay, I don't think this phone does anything, but hey, phone booths, another 80s reference. So I did end up enjoying the Stranger Things experience more than I thought I would. As a fan of the show, I thought it was well done, and as a standalone immersive attraction, it does have some great effects and details in both the physical performances and the digitally projected scenes. This experience does travel between cities, usually for a span of a few months, so if you're a Stranger Things fan, I would recommend it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please take a look at my other content covering other attractions like theme parks, museums, roadside attractions, and much more in both Europe and America. I have plenty of videos on both Paris and Indiana. Additionally, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks for watching!